Title: Human creates prototype visor for blind alien girl. Days later, for elite soldiers come for him, HFY. The station's lights hummed softly as Dr. Ethan Voss adjusted the hollow schematic hovering in front of him. For the past 6 months, he had been working in isolation aboard the outer research hub Orion's Reach, far from the politics and bureaucracy of the core worlds. But this project wasn't about bureaucracy. It wasn't about fame or credits. It was about something far rarer: hope. Ethan's hands trembled slightly as he applied the final calibration to the prototype visor. The device was compact, a sleek assembly of alien alloys and human nanotech, and it was meant to do something almost miraculous. "This should work," he muttered under his breath. "It has to." Across the lab, a figure shifted. Lysara, a young alien girl of the Xylen species, tilted her head slightly, listening. She was slender, her violet-toned skin catching the sterile light, and her eyes, large, multifaceted, and unnervingly beautiful, were clouded and opaque. Born without sight, she had never seen the color of a sunset or the shimmer of her own people's bioluminescent cities. Yet she had laughter that could light a room, curiosity that rivaled a human prodigy, and a resilience that made every effort worth it. "You said it would let me see," she said softly, her voice a mix of wonder and doubt. Ethan smiled, crouching to her level. "I promise. I've tested everything. When you put it on, you'll see, maybe not perfectly at first, but enough to feel the world in a new way." Lysara nodded, stepping forward. Her fingers traced the visor as if sensing its shape more than seeing it. "I trust you, human." It was the first time someone had called him human instead of Ethan. On Xylen, formalities were strict, and strangers were always addressed by rank or family lineage. This simple word, however, felt like a bridge across the gulf of species. With careful hands, Ethan placed the visor over Lysara's eyes. The nanotech word, lights blinking as sensors calibrated to her optic nerves or their closest equivalent. "Now open your eyes," he instructed gently. Lysara inhaled sharply and blinked, or tried to. A moment later, gasps echoed through the lab. "Human," she whispered, voice trembling. I can see." The visor didn't grant perfect vision. The world was a blur of shimmering colors and shapes, like looking through water. But it was real. Trees, lights, the subtle curves of the lab walls, everything she had never known existed suddenly came alive. Lysara reached out, touching a console, and giggled in delight as the colors shifted beneath her fingertips. "You did it," she said, voice breaking slightly. "You really did it." Ethan's chest swelled with pride, but it was fleeting. Beyond the reinforced windows of the lab, the darkness of space seemed to hum with quiet warning. This was Orion's Reach, far from the core worlds, yet in the depths of the galaxy. Word traveled faster than any human could imagine. 3 days later, Ethan was in his quarters when the first knock came. At first, he thought it was a routine supply drone, but then he noticed the quiet. Too quiet. He opened the door. 4 figures stood there, massive, armored, and silent. Their presence exuded authority and lethal precision. The Xylen insignia on their shoulders glinted under the light. Dr. Voss, the tallest one, said, voice like grinding steel, "You've done something that was not yours to do." Ethan's stomach tightened. I helped a girl see. That's it. She's blind. She's never had a chance otherwise." The soldier's eyes, sharp and unblinking beneath their visors, scanned him. "You have violated the accord. You have tampered with Xylen genetics and sensory augmentation technology without sanction. This is not a request, human. You are coming with us." Ethan backed up instinctively. Wait. Lysara, she needs this. You can't just take me like that." The 4 elite soldiers moved as one, their movements fluid and terrifyingly synchronized. Ethan had trained for emergencies, for rogue drones, for hostile boarding parties, but nothing had prepared him for this. In the chaos, a part of him marveled at their discipline. Each step, each gesture, was precise. But instinct overrode awe. He darted for the airlock, only to find it sealed remotely by the soldier's command. "You cannot leave," the tallest said. Compliance is expected. Ethan's mind raced. Lysara. The Visor. If they took him, would they confiscate his work? Destroy it? And worse, what would they do to her? I won't let you hurt her, he said, voice firm despite the fear crawling up his spine. The soldiers paused. Something in his tone seemed unexpected. Perhaps it was the conviction of a human defending someone weaker. In Xylen society, strength was usually physical, not moral. You are brave, the Tala said. Perhaps foolishly so. But bravery is respected. Ethan didn't have time to wonder. With a desperate leap, he grabbed a nearby gravlift panel, sending himself tumbling across the room. The soldiers split, moving with supernatural agility, yet Ethan managed to wedge himself into the maintenance crawlway. He could hear their armored boots clanging against the metal floor as they pursued, relentless. Hours later, he found himself deep in the service tunnels beneath the station. Exhausted, bleeding, and desperate, he activated his portable communicator. It was a last-ditch attempt, but he had one ally he trusted. Dr. Voss. A familiar voice responded almost instantly. What the hell are you doing? It's Lysara. Ethan panted. They're here for elite soldiers. They want me or my work. I can't let them take her. Get out of the station, the voice said, urgent. I've mapped a jump route through the lower cargo bays. They won't expect it. You have to move now. Ethan didn't argue. Adrenaline surged as he navigated the labyrinthine tunnels, using every trick he'd ever learned. The station, designed for research and observation, had many hidden alcoves, crawl spaces, and service shafts. He moved like a shadow, a human ghost among Xylen technology. At last, he reached the cargo bay. Lysara was there, waiting as if she had known he'd come. You shouldn't be here, she said softly, though her newly sighted eyes gleamed with understanding. They'll catch you. They won't, Ethan said, handing her a compact pack. I need you to trust me. The 4 soldiers were already descending from the observation deck. But Ethan had one advantage: unpredictability. He activated the gravlift panels in sequence, creating a makeshift barrier and blasting them off balance. For a moment, it was chaos, a blur of armored soldiers, flickering lights, and shifting crates. Run, he shouted to Lysara. Together, they sprinted to the emergency shuttle bay. The jump pods were compact but functional. Lysara's small hands worked the interface instinctively. Ethan was amazed. The visor not only gave her sight, but seemed to enhance her spatial awareness. Jump coordinates set, she said confidently. Ethan let out a breath he hadn't realized he was holding. Good girl. Let's go.